Hello and welcome to our film show here on Arts 24. This week we're off to the Berlinale, Europe's first major film festival of the year. And our critic Emma Jones is in the German capital to bring us the latest. Hi Emma. So Berlin might look pretty icy there, but there's been plenty of fiery political debate, sparks flying at the event. Tell us more.
Yes, indeed. Now, you know, the Berlinale has got a historic tradition of not shying away from political debate, certainly through the films it shows. But this year's media storm has been very much about politics itself, not the films. And it all started when Indian author Arundhati Roy pulled out of an appearance at the festival over, she said, the words of Wim Wenders. That's a German director and jury president at this year's festival. He was asked on the opening day in a press conference about his opinion on world events, including Gaza.
Yes, and it got quite the response. Well, let's hear what Wim Wenders had to say.
We have to stay out of politics because if we made movies that are dedicatedly political, we enter the field of politics, but we are the counterweight to politics. We are the opposite of politics. We have to do the work of people and not the work of politicians.
Well, the Berlinale then responded to the media storm, saying artists should not be expected to speak on every political issue raised to them. But many of them do want to talk politics. Tunisian director Kawthar Benhania declined a prize for her film, The Voice of Hind Rajab, at the Cinema for Peace Gala in Berlin. She made a speech calling out the inaction of Western countries in the face of the massacre in Gaza, saying that without accountability, there is no peace. So, Emma, it seems like even if Wim Wenders wanted to avoid politics, that has actually been impossible.
Yes, indeed. I suppose there could be an argument to say that the overall sense of Wim Wenders' words at that press conference just meant that, you know, filmmakers were not, in fact, politicians. However, now there has been an open letter to the Berlinale, signed by around 80 signatories, including stars like Javier Bardem, Tilda Swinton, Mike Leigh, and they are calling out what they call is, you know, the silence of the Berlinale on the topic of Gaza, and saying they are dismayed. There has also been a lot of questions in press conferences to celebrities about politics rather than film, including to honorary Golden Bear winner Michelle Yeoh. When she was here, she was asked about what she thought of the state of US politics at the moment. She declined to answer. And then you have Harry Potter star Rupert Grint from Great Britain. He was over here and he was asked about the rise of fascism in the UK. Well, here's what he had to say.
Well, obviously I'm against it. But no, I mean, I choose my moments when to speak. But I think, yeah, it's obviously hugely relevant now in times. But yeah, I think, yeah, you'll hear from me.
Heavy matters indeed. Well, OK, back to the festival's raison d'être now, and that's films. What have been the highlights so far?
You know, strangely enough, it's music stars that have really been the biggest celebrities and the celebrity talking points of this year's festival. You had pop star Charli XCX in Berlin. Now, that was for the premiere of her mockumentary, The Moment. And this is all about the hype surrounding her Brat album. It co-stars Alexander Skarsgård. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. That is a big recommend from me. Now, you also had celebrity power couple, pop star Dua Lipa and British actor Callum Turner as well, turning up on Valentine's Day for the world premiere of his new film, Rosebush Pruning. Now, this is a film by Brazilian-Algerian director Karim Anouz, as well as Callum Turner in it. It co-stars Pamela Anderson and Jamie Bell, and it's really a look at an ultra-wealthy family and their moral depravity.
Right, very rich people problem. Sounds a bit Triangle of Sadness. Let's take a look at the film and hear from its director.
We all inherited lots of money after Mom died.
5.
This fact that none of us ever have to work ever in our lives didn't affect our characters. We always were interested only in music and fashion. We're all lazy, mediocre, vapid egotists. All of us. Except for my eldest brother, of course, Jack. Jack's different.
Yeah, I think like, you know, the richer you are, the more isolated you get, you know, like the more like out of touch with the world you get. And I think like we're living something in the world that's very strange. I think there's 3,000 billionaires in the world or something like that, and the rest of the world is really in trouble. So yes, I think that's part of the story, but also it's supposed to be fun and absurd, like when you open your newspaper every day. So there's something really funny about it as well, which is quite tragic.
Rosebush pruning is in competition. It was the must-see event so far of this festival, partly because of the starriness of its actors. I have to say, I'm a bit on the fence about it. As you say, Olivia, you know, this kind of tale of the ultra-wealthy has been done by filmmakers before. My own favourite film in competition so far, it has to be said, is called Rose, and that's by Austrian director Markus Schleinzler, and it stars German actress and Oscar nominee for Anatomy of a Fall, Sandra Hüller. Now, she is playing a woman who is impersonating a man in order to live freely in 17th century Europe. It's shot in black and white. It's a very hard but compelling watch. And I've got to say, it is one of the critics' favourites for Berlin's top prize, the Golden Bear. Let's take a look and hear from Sandra Hüller.
Im Dorf sagt man, der Soldat, sei ein Sonderling. Und dass er etwas Geheimnisvolles mit sich trägt.
Soldat hat der Herr für das Land gekämpft. Das heißt aber nicht, dass er dem Kampf mit dem Land gewachsen ist.
I think it was very palpable, like feelable, that it is connected to the development that we can see right now, that more and more people who were on the path of being more free and integrated in society, respected and accepted, are threatened these days again.
Sandra Hüller there, having an amazing run recently with some really different films. Looking forward to that one. Well, Emma, French cinema is always a perennial at this event. Which French stars have you spotted on the bill this year?
Yes, well, there's actually a couple of French co-productions in competition this year. You've got In a Whisper by Leila Bouzid, and that is a French-Tunisian co-production. It stars Aya Bouteria as well as Hiam Abbas, and it's a beautifully shot, contemplative exploration of sexuality set in modern-day Tunisia. Then you have a French-Senegalese Guinea-Bissau co-production in competition. That's Alain Gomez's Dao. This is another critical favourite to win the Golden Bear. It's 3 hours long, it's experimental, it's art house, it stars actors and non-actors, and it's set around a wedding and a funeral.
Oh, wow, OK. And I believe in terms of star power, French actress Isabelle Huppert has made a stir with a very funny role as a vampire.
Oh, I did really love this film, I have to say. Isabelle Huppert, yes, she has been in town. She is in a film, an Austrian film called The Blood Countess by director Ulrike Oettinger. And she is indeed, she gives a comedy masterclass in how to play a vampire. And this is loosely based on the historical character of Elizabeth Bathory, who was known in real life as the Bloody Countess. And Isabelle Huppert is swirling around modern-day Vienna, surrounded by a German-speaking cast. You also have Juliette Binoche. She is here in competition. This is a British film, actually, or an English-language film set in London. It's called Queen at Sea. She co-stars with Tom Courtenay. It's directed by American filmmaker Lance Hammer. And this is a very interesting film around the question of sexual consent. But the main protagonists are an elderly couple who are still sexually active, you know, even though one of them has dementia.
Indeed. Well, Juliette Binoche has been talking about taking on those rarely tackled themes. Let's hear from her and get a glimpse of the film.
She's trying to survive.
Yes.
She's trying to make it happen, you know, that everybody's okay and still on the boat and trying to, you know, face the immense questions about how do you make security in a perspective that of being in a situation that is very difficult.
I know what's happening to her. I know what comes next. But she doesn't. Mercifully, she's ignorant of what the disease is doing to her.
And finally, Emma, you mentioned Rupert Grint earlier, of Harry Potter fame, of course. He doesn't act that much these days, but he was drawn back for an independent Finnish film. It's in competition. Tell us more about this one.
Yeah, this is called Nightborn, and it's a frankly quite crackers Finnish independent film that I really liked. It's directed by Hanna Bergholm, and it stars Rupert Grint and a magnificent Finnish actress called Sadie Hala. And this is a horror comedy. It's set around parental anxiety about the birth of their first child, who, let's say, seems to be otherworldly. Lots of inspiration from Finnish folklore as well. You know, it has divided critics, but I definitely just embrace the madness of it.
OK, sounds like fun and appropriately supernatural for someone with a wizardly background. Emma, thank you so much for the roundup and enjoy the festival.
Totally.
We'll leave you with a look at Nightborn. Remember, you can get more movie news here on France 24 and on our social media too. There's more news coming up just after this.
I can take Christian.
He wants to be in the dock.
What? It's kind of why they're all here.